Hello YouTube, this is Drugoli from Nights Than Never, and here you're seeing a, you should know who this guy is. This is SpongeBob. This was made by Ringo, and as you can probably tell already by the title and something being made by Ringo, this is a server walkthrough. This is basically my server. This is pretty old. This is not how the server would look if you were to join it. If I got online, you were to join it. But what I want to show you is that on one of my previous redstone tutorials, I showed how to make a redstone password system which used buttons, so you would press the buttons in sequence. One thing about that was you could just run through the buttons, like going back and forth, just pushing all the buttons, and it would still open the door eventually. So what I've done is I've made a password system. You can see it's right here. There's lots of free space in there, so not all of this is used. But what I've made is I made a password system which not only lets you, you have some specific numbers, but have to be pressed in the right sequence. They can't be pressed backwards. You can press all the buttons and then it'll work. They have to be pressed in the correct sequence. So I'm going to show you. I have 8 buttons here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then I have a reset button, an enter button, and this is supposed to be like a okay, now you can open the door type of redstone torch show thingy. It won't affect the door anyway, but it's just if this keeps being turned on, you'll get the door open. So there's kind of a few rules you have to follow before trying to push in the code. You have to wait a few seconds between each press, so it doesn't fuck up the system. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to push in the right code, which is 1. I'm going to wait a few seconds. System to load. Push 2. Wait a few seconds. And I'm going to push 5. So you see now the torch is turning on. It keeps being turned on, which means now the code is actually correct. As you can see, it's not affecting the door. I push the enter button. The door opens and closes again after me. So let me get back in here. Just reset real quick. There's one thing which I haven't changed yet, is that the last bit in the combination, which is 1, 2, 5, if you press 5, the torch will turn on for a few seconds, but will turn off again. So it has to stay on for the combination to actually be right. So now let's try to do it kind of backwards. I'm going to do the first and the last number, and then one in the middle. So I'm going to do 1, 5, and 2. Now the torch is not on, so it won't open. And if I push all of them in sequence, like all of these, and then go back and forth a few times, that will not work either. I can try 1, wait a few seconds. 2, wait a few seconds. Let's do 6. Wait a few seconds. You can see it won't work. And now even if I just press 5, which would be the last bit in the combination, it turns on for a few seconds, but it turns back off again. So that means the combination is not correct. It's not put in correctly. So that's basically how the outside is. I'm not going to show you the inside just yet, because what I want you to do is you can either... I want you guys to try and create this type of password thing. It doesn't need to have 8 buttons. It can have maybe only 5 or 4. The only rule I have is that it needs to be a 3-bit combination at least. You can make a 8-bit combination if you want to, or even more, maybe 20. You have to decide that. You can also and the thing is, it also has to be so you can't press it in the wrong sequence. You can't press 2 correct, then 1 wrong, and then a correct again. It has to be you have to press only the buttons which are in the combination, and press them in the right order, which here would be 1, 2, and 5. So I'm going to give you that challenge, see if some of you guys can do it. You can just record a simple video of it and post it as a video response. I'll go look at all of them. But if you want a little help, I'm going to now go in and show you guys how it works. But before I do that, I want to go over here. Kind of build up the suspense. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that me and Ringo actually worked on. We tried to create some different types of... Let me just, real quick, get this reset. Get some redstone. There we are. We tried to create different types of clocks. So This is... Oh, wait. Fail. I need some delay in this. This is kind of a simple redstone repeater clock. Works pretty well. Pretty small as well. Here we have a... I think it's a 5 pulse clock. Pulses around. Goes up and down. This one is toggleable. This one is not. Keep that in mind. Now if we go over here... wait, this... No, not that one. Here we go. This is a... What I tried to do, is I tried to make a redstone pulsar, which could work like any of these, but it had to be only 1 block wide, so it can be spaced like with 1 block apart. Let me just cut this one off. So this is the first version. I have quite a few versions here. So they also need to be toggleable. They can't be like that one. They have to be toggleable. So if I flip this, you can see the piston's now going up and down. This one is also kinda, I guess, reprogrammable. Like I can remove this piece there into a redstone instead. It'll increase the, or decrease the delay between each pulse. I can do the same thing up here, which then decreases the delay a little bit. So let me turn it back off. Now I have this one, which is a bit smaller. You can see when you compare these two, they're a little bit smaller. This one doesn't have a inverter at the end, which that one does. So let me turn that one on. Works the same way, but here is also adjustable by this simple repeater here. Not that one, but this one. So this is the fastest it can do, and this is the slowest. Works pretty well. So turn it off. Now there's this one, which is a bit different. They all have different designs. This one is 3 blocks tall. That one's also 3 blocks tall. This up here also counts as a block, because you can't, for bringing a grass thing here, you can't have a block like right above it. It has to be that space in between. So let me turn this one on. This one's also adjustable, but this one can have a bit greater delay. You can see this one can have a delay all the way up to this, which is very, very slow. Or it can go down to this much slower one, or even this one. And now here's the smallest one I've made. Okay, that's actually a pretty small one. I don't know. I think Ringo made that one. I'm not sure. But this is also a pretty small pulsar I made. I think this is the smallest one I've created. It's only 3 blocks tall and 4 blocks wide. That there also counts as a block, as you can see. So I turn this one on. And this one's also adjustable. So you can adjust the delay by this thing. And this I really like. I like this one. So let me go around. You have already seen SpongeBob. There's also Ringo, who tried to make the patchwork thing over there. We kind of had a competition. His failed, as you can see. So all that is pretty useless. So now let's go in, and I'm going to try and explain how this thing works. Let me get in here. So now, if you want to try and create it without this help, now is a good time to pause the video. There's not going to be anything else other than this and my usual outro. So I'm going to give you a few seconds. You have some time to pause the video. You can go out and get going and creating this thing. Okay, it should be good. Let's go. Okay, so this might look very, very complicated, but I can assure you it's not. So if we go over here, start from basics, we have all the buttons laid out here. As you can see, this button and that button, and I think it's this one over here. Those are the ones used in the combination. We also have this one here, which just gives power down to this line, which is basically the reset line. So every single button thing out there that's not in the combination at all basically just goes down to this reset line and goes this way. You can see this is also coming from the reset button. It goes in here, goes this way. And now we come to one of the cool things I've created. There are probably other versions of this as well. This is also 1 block wide RS NOR latch. You can see it has 2 torches here. There's this up here, and there's this up here. And what's good about this thing is that it can be reset very easily. You can have these in sequence like so, and then the way you reset them is just you have power going to this line. If there's power going to this line here, they'll reset. Or, if you can see up here, it goes power to this line. Or this line, or this line. So if that gets any power at all, it gets reset back to the original state, which is this thing on, this thing off, and this thing on. So let's say I push the first button in the combination. Let me just look where that one comes from. It would be the one over here anyways. Yep, here it is. So first button in combination, which is 1. The pulse goes in here. It goes through this inverter, since there's a torch down there, so this is turned on. This would turn off if I push the button, which would give up power here. So it goes into 2 repeaters here on the full delay. Then it also goes this way. Over here. I'm going to explain what that is in a minute. But it goes in and tries to flip the RS null latch. And just before it does that, I believe, it goes over here and adds power to this little AND gate thing. And basically, if this RS null latch is not triggered, like this thing here is not getting power, it's like a reset AND gate. So basically it means if the first number in the combination is inputted, this AND gate here, which would be given power if I push the button again, will then give out power to this reset line, which just goes all the way over here, back to the main reset. But since the first number is not put in at the moment, let me just get a lever so I can flip it. That would be here. Okay, this is a bit tough to flip, actually. Let me just cut this off. Get some redstone so I can cut it off. See, now I would be pushing the button. So do it like that. Okay, that doesn't work for some reason. That is annoying. But it would flip this thing just a few milliseconds after this thing has been triggered. This means that this line here would be off, and this line here would be on. So right now, if I try to push the second button in the combination, you can see it would actually try and flip it, but it wouldn't be possible since this thing is right now, this other RS null latch is already trying to reset this one over here. And the same for this thing, is this one's trying to reset this one at all times. And this one can even reset this one. So you can't like turn this one off and then that one off like very quickly, because this thing is going to reset both of them at the same time anyways. But over here then I have 2 AND gates. I have one AND gate which is for when it's time like to press the button. So you see right now this AND gate here is off, that one is off, which means if I push the button this thing would get power and it would turn on the reset. But if this thing here is flipped, which means I push the first number or bit in the combination, it would turn this torch off, turning this torch on, making this AND gate false as this one. So if it got any power from the button thing, it wouldn't trigger this line, but would instead flip the RS null latch. So then when that's done, if that's flipped, then we have basically the exact same thing over here. 2 AND gates, one of them connected to the output of the last bit in the combination, the last RS null latch, because it goes up here, it goes around, like so, into this one. That block. Oops. Fell. Let me just get that back. There we are. So, I guess that's basically how it works. I'm going to show it to you one more time. And then, for those of you who are still here, you can then try and create your own. You can also try and copy me. I'm not going to make any tutorials on this. This is going to be something for you guys to try by yourselves, since you should already, by now at least, have learned a little bit about redstone, so you can build this thing by yourself. Through all of my tutorials, you should know how it works. So you can see right now the combination is correct, but if I push any of these buttons, which would make the combination wrong, the torch turns off and it's completely reset. So thank you for watching. Remember to tune in for my live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Danish time. There's a link for a time converter in the video description. Also join my Steam group if you need any help with redstone. I'm not gonna help you trying to make this. This is something for you guys to make. It's like I don't want to call it homework, but it's like something you guys can try and create by yourselves. What was I thinking? Yes, I kind of want to make a quick update here on the Minecraft builder contest that I talked about in my last real commentary. And I've been gotten some of the rules down. I have a few judges that are going to help me judge the creations that you guys would be making. There might be a video. It's not fully ready yet for the contest to start. I need to go through the rules and all that still. But I think I am going to do a contest, and I have Ringo and Jimmy B95 or James to help me judge the creations which you are going to create for the competition. Now, we just need to get some of the last few rules down, and then we'll be making a competition, and it's going to be awesome. I hope to get some really cool creations from you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. Also tune in for my join my Steam group and follow me on Twitter if you want to. Be very much appreciated. So thank you for watching, and good luck creating the password thing, and take care.